Godot 4.2 has just been released and it has something for everybody, from features for beginners to features to the most experienced, but Godot 4.2 will benefit you anyway. It's quite a long update to check everything in just one video, so I will be going through all the main new features which I think are the most important ones. However, you will always be able to read the complete changes following the link in the description down below. And now, let's start. The first feature we're gonna be talking about are code regions. Code regions allow you to break up scripts into named blocks, foldable and easy to navigate without it affecting the flow of the program. So basically, let's say that you have this piece of code right here and you would like to actually create a region there. You have two ways of doing this. Firstly, you could select all the lines you want to make a region, then right click and here create code region, or you actually have a shortcut which is Alt R. So let's click here and as you can see a region has been created. Also, if you select again all the region and right click it, you have also this shortcut about fold and unfold line, okay? This is super useful when you have a very long script and you want to actually divide the script into different sections or regions so that you have everything perfectly organized. Also, if you go to editor, then editor settings and you scroll a little bit down, here under theme in your text editor, you will see a couple of new options. Firstly, you have here the code folding color, you also have the folded code region color, which ones you can modify. So for example, let's change this color to maybe some blue, for example, and then also your folded code region color, this is like a pink or violet, so I would like to make it like an orange maybe. And now let's check out the results, and well, as you can see here I have modified the colors. Also, we have the possibility to create some comment markers. Comment markers are basically normal comments that actually highlight themselves. For example, if we create a comment of alert, as you can see, it colors itself like red. Or for example, we can also put fix me and it will color itself. Then we can also modify here with another comment saying info, and again it changes. What is very cool about this feature is that if we come back again to the editor and editor settings and go to theme, we can actually firstly modify the different comment markers that, as I told you, for example, here alert is inside the criticals, fix me in warning, and info in notice list, but you could actually modify this list as you want by adding or removing some values. Also, of course, you can modify the colors. For example, this critical, I'm gonna do it even more red, as you can see it modified there. Warning, I will do it like a yellow. And critical, let's do some blue again, okay? And as you can see, it modifies. Also, I'm gonna add 3 more comments markers, one in each section. So for example, here I'm gonna write hello just to make an example. Then here on warning I will put bye, following by a comma, as you can see. And finally here in notice, let's put goodbye, okay? So now when I create the comment markers, now everything colors correctly. Again, this is so cool to be used with the code regions, just to organize your code and your scripts in a much better way. Now we also have the possibility to start coloring our folders in the file system. Let me show you. In a game you may have a bunch of folders and files, so a great way to actually organize them is to color them. So I'm gonna select my images folder, right click, set folder color, and we have a collection of colors we can actually select. Also, it doesn't only color the folder but also the elements inside the folder, so that's definitely super cool. I'm gonna color also this one, for example this color, and finally this one. So I created here a couple of folders, and well, as you can see, this would be the final look of everything. The project manager is the first thing somebody sees when entering to Godot. So some very small improvements, but that can actually make the difference, are about the buttons layout. Previously, mostly every button was right here on this section, but now, as you can see, the new and import buttons are right here, which I think are very cool because they are much more accessible than they were before. And also remember that we have the manage tags functionality. This means that we can actually create some tags for our projects and start sorting them, for example by tags, or we can also, for example, show only the projects that have certain tag. For example, I'm just here filtering by the projects that have the finished tag. So for example, if I add here the finished tag and I sort only by, and I filter only by the finished tag, I only see these projects. There have been also changes on here, the documentation, the in-engine documentation. Remember that here, for example, you could look for any node and you have some in-engine documentation so that you don't have to go to your browser, look for the corresponding class in the documentation, come back to Godot. Everything is completely on the engine and has been improved. Also, this applies for signals. So in this case, we have a brief description on how the signal works and what does it do actually, as we have, for example, in the different node aspect. For example, here we have a brief description as well as right here. So everything is completely on the engine and you wouldn't actually need to have your browser open with the docs. We also have some cool stuff about Tilemaps. There is a new tool which allows you to flip and rotate any tile or tile pattern when placing them in the world. And the list continues with improvements to scene tiles, polygon editing, various hints and tips that direct users, and so on and so forth. Exciting additions have been cooking in the navigation system. At the top of the list is navigation mesh baking for 2D, bringing it to parity with 3D navigation. It is capable of handling physics, bodies, mesh instances, plane polygons, and of course Tilemaps. Godot prides itself on first-class support when it comes to porting, including all mainstream desktop platforms, mobile platforms, and the web platform. Part of the support includes better integration with the host environment. Another extremely useful interaction with the operating system is copying and pasting images implemented for all desktop platforms. So these are the main new features of Godot 4.2. I hope you like them, and if so, please consider subscribing for more Godot content. Which is your favorite new feature? Comment it down below. See you in the next one and bye bye.